In this video, I'm going to fire up the Western Digital WDTV Live streaming media player for the very first time. Now, right now I have everything hooked up to my television set, except I do not have the WDTV Live plugged in. So I'm going to plug it in for the very first time. There we go, WDTV Live. Okay, the first thing it asks is my language. Now obviously I'm speaking English, so I'm going to take the remote and I'm going to hit the OK button here. And it's looking for my wireless network. Okay, all it did was search for my wireless networks. I logged into my wireless network with my passcode, and this is what popped up next. Setup complete. Your WDTV is now connected to the internet. You're ready to enjoy the best of the internet on your HD TV. So I'm going to hit OK here and see what pops up. It says new firmware. So let's check for new firmware, and I'm going to click OK. And it says current version 1.01.43. The new version is 1.03.07i. So I'm going to update the device. Okay, the firmware was successfully downloaded, and now the device is going to restart to complete the installation. Okay, so it boots up again, and let's check for the new firmware again. I should be up to date, but let's just see why it's popping up here. Okay, there is actually another newer firmware, which is 1.04.12. So let's just go down here and say what's new in this update. And okay, supports Vimeo, AccuWeather, supports PlayJam, supports screen capture feature, supports media library function for network share folders, resolved AccuWeather enabled to add to favorites issue, resolved issue with Samba shared file causing delay in playback on resume, resolved issue unknown error displays while connecting to network share. So it resolves a lot of issues, so let's just go and update the device. And again, the firmware was successfully downloaded, and the device is going to restart to complete the installation. And now it's updating the firmware. It says your WDTV is being upgraded. This process may take several minutes. Please do not disconnect power or the attached storage. So I'll just let it do what it's going to do. Okay, so now it's 12 o'clock, and this is a user interface after the updated firmware installed. Now you have the time and then also the temperature as you had before. And let's just scroll through a couple of things here. Now the first thing that's highlighted here is videos. So let's click on OK. And you have the option of watching videos on your local storage, on your media server, on your network share, or online service. So let's go down to online service because right now I don't have any of the other things hooked up. So let's click on online service, and you have Facebook and Picasa as your options here. So let's back out of this by hitting the back button on the remote here, right there, and back out of it again. Next thing is services, so let's click on that. Okay, here are all the channels that are on the WDTV Live. So you have AccuWeather.com, Blockbuster On Demand, Cinema Now, Dailymotion, Deezer, Live 365, Hulu Plus, Flingo, Flickr, Facebook, Mediafly, Netflix, which is pretty low on the list, which is interesting, Pandora, Picasa, Shoutcast, and there should be 5 more. So Spotify, let's go back, sorry. Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Vimeo, YouTube videos, and then YouTube. So let's check a couple of things here. So let's see, you can actually change the view here and look at it on a list view. And it still gives you the icons when you actually have that highlighted. Now let's go back up to the other view here. Now there are a couple things that I wanted to look on here, the first of which is Blockbuster On Demand. So let's load this up and see what it looks like. Okay, it says Browse, Search, Download Manager, My Library, My Favorites, Get Started, and Help. So this allows you to use the Blockbuster On Demand video service where you can actually watch things like a Netflix, only it's a la carte on this device. Now let's click up here to Download Manager. It says please connect a USB hard drive or flash drive to use the Download Manager. search and browse. Let's just hit browse for now and see what's available here. It's a nice service if you want to rent something and you don't have a Blockbuster nearby and it's not on demand on your cable service and you can't find it on Netflix. So it's a nice option to have, the Blockbuster Video On Demand service where you can actually rent things a la carte. Let's hit the back button here and get out of Blockbuster. The other thing I want to check out is Cinema Now. That's another service that's similar to the Blockbuster On Demand in that you can rent movies. So I'm going to enter into that, and the interface is very similar. So let's just see what they have for movies here. So this looks like the user interface on this device and not so much what the user interface was on Blockbuster. So it looks like it's all across the board. So we have some movies here, Super 8, and you can buy it for $15.95 or rent it for $3.99. So it seems like Cinema Now has better prices. Let's go over to Conan and see. Yeah, Conan, you can buy it for $15.95. You can rent it for $3.99. So the rental price is the same on Cinema Now and Blockbuster, but the purchase price is less on Cinema Now here. They also have the Devil's Double here. So it seems like you might have a better variety of movies on Cinema Now than you do on Blockbuster, which is interesting. But that's just from this first page here. Let's go back and check out the TV shows they have available here. So here are the TV shows, and let's see, Alan Gregory, never heard of it. American Dad, American Horror Story, American Trucker, Bones. Let's go through the list here. Not through the entire list, but just see what's on here. These are the most popular TV shows on Cinema Now. Let's just click on American Horror Story and see what they offer here. American Horror Story, sneak peek for $0. Okay, Season 1, Episode 1 is $1.99, and you purchase these. You don't rent these, you purchase these for $1.99. Let's back out of this, and let's see what Netflix looks like on here. So that is Netflix on the WDTV Live. Let's hit, actually this time, the home button here on the remote, and I will exit Netflix here. Next thing I want to try out is actually YouTube. Now you have YouTube proper and then YouTube videos. So let's see what YouTube videos is all about. Okay, interesting. You have the Western Digital WDTV Live interface here, where you have top rated, most viewed, most popular, featured, top favorites, and search, and then preferences, and then user. Let me sign into my Tech Harvest account here. Okay, so it brings up my favorites here, which is interesting, so you can watch your favorites once you've signed into the account here. And it doesn't look like you have any other options here. Let's see what the filter is here. And okay, you can filter videos, favorites, and playlists. Let me go to videos, and it should bring up my videos here. Yes, it brings up my videos. Interesting. So let me actually play one of them on here. There we go. Now this remote actually has a mute button on it. Let's see if it works in this case. Yep, works perfectly fine. So very cool. I can actually play my YouTube videos on my television set here. And it looks a little bit better, the interface looks a little bit better than what you get on the Netgear NTV 200. Let's back out of this, and you can search here if you want. As always, these on-screen keyboards are a little bit cumbersome, but it still allows you to do this on-screen search here on this device, which is pretty nice. Let's back out of here and go to YouTube over here and see what it brings up. Okay, Okay, this is the YouTube Leanback feature. Okay, that's the YouTube Leanback feature, which I'm not a huge fan of, but you can find that on several devices, including the Netgear NTV 200 and on Google TV. I actually prefer this YouTube Videos app that I just showed you. Now, the reason I didn't show you the YouTube Leanback feature is because immediately a video plays, and I don't want to get into issues with copyright. So YouTube Leanback is basically, it just serves up videos to you randomly, and you can actually control it, you can search for things, but it's constant content playing. And I'm more used to searching for what I want and then watching it instead of having stuff playing constantly. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of YouTube Leanback, but if you like YouTube Leanback, this device actually offers it. Now, one thing here, you see Spotify on this device, and that's a very popular music service that you can use, and you can actually use it on this device. I'm not a Spotify member. It's not something that I'd be interested in using, but if you're interested, it's here on the device if you'd like to try it out. So let's hit the home button on the remote here and go back to the main menu here and see what else is available on these selections here. Let's see what games are available. You have Fun Spot and Play Jam games. Let's see what Play Jam is all about. Okay, let's see. Let's just check out this darts game and hit Play Game. And I don't care to sign in. I just want to go to the game and see how this works. Just blow through this here, and let's do challenge here. And okay. It looks like the target is rotating. I don't know if I can control the target. Looks like I cannot control the target. Okay. It goes around counterclockwise. Let me actually mute this. It goes around counterclockwise, and you press OK where you want to stop it on the board, and now it's giving me a from inside to the outside of the dartboard where I want to hit it. So I'm going to try for the inside. Bullseye. Perfect. Interesting game. Let's try Fun Spot real quick. Alright, so some casual games here on this device. Let's get out of here and go back up to the main menu. Then you have an RSS channel. So you can get your RSS feeds in here if you want, which is actually a nice little feature because if you're, getting up in the morning before you go to work or something, you can just check your RSS feeds on your TV here. So that's a nice little feature. Let's back out of here and go to Files. I have no files, but you can access files from your local storage, your media server, or your network share. Let's back out of this. And then we go to Setup here. Audio, video output, appearance, video settings, music settings, photo settings, network sharings, operation, system, and about. Let's just check the appearance here real quick. Language, screen size calibration, user interface themes, so there are different themes on here, user interface backgrounds, and screensaver delay. Let's look at some of these themes here. There's a bunch of different themes that you can choose from if you'd like. A couple of winter ones. I actually like the interface that's on there right now. I like the theme that's there. It looks like it's springtime or summertime and it's cheery, and that's a good thing. So let's get out of here and let's look at user interface backgrounds. And let's click on here. Okay, so you have some interesting backgrounds here. You have Africa, you have Antarctica, you have what looks like a city, Peter's Collection, and polar bear. Again, I kind of like the background that's on there right now, but I could change it in the future. Let's back out of here, and then you have your background. So I would imagine you could actually put a personalized picture on there if you want, which is pretty cool. Now, one thing to note, let me actually go back to the main menu here. If you want, you actually have a setup button here on the remote. So instead of actually going into the menu there to get set up, I could actually press this button down here and it would accomplish the same thing. Okay, photos, obviously I don't have any photos on the device yet, but you can access photos from your local storage, your media server, your network share, or online service. So if you have photos on Picasa, you can import them in. Now I don't know if you're actually able to import pictures from, say, Facebook on here, but I'll let you know as time goes on if I actually try it out. But for now, this video is just to show you the first time power-up of the device and a device overview. Then, of course, we have music, we have nothing on here. Again, you can get it from your local storage, your media server, or your network share. So that is the WDTV Live. So far, I like what I see. A little different from a Roku device. Roku's strengths are in the many channels that you can actually load onto the device. And the strengths of this device is that you can actually stream whatever content you have on your local network and play it on this device. And the user interface seems pretty slick. So like I said, so far I really like what I see. So that does it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post it down below, and I'll see you guys next time.